Hey guys, welcome to another video, and in this video I'm going to be teaching you the right way to shortlist the university. Now remember, if you're going for your bachelor's, master's, PhD, almost anywhere in the world this video will help you. However, please note that there are 5 ways that I'm going to be teaching you, and remember, for each client that we work with in general, or each person that we do it for, it's not that all 5 of them will apply. For some people, maybe just one of these things will apply. For other people, maybe 4 of these things will apply. It depends on your case. It's a case-to-case basis game, and everything really changes based on the case over here. So please make sure to understand that these 5 ways, they're not interdependent. You can basically go ahead and use 2, 3, 4, 5 of these depending on which ones apply to your scenario. Okay, so without further ado, let us begin. I'm actually going to be using the Vanguard phone app for this one. The iOS version is out for testing right now. If you guys follow me on my Instagram, I gave some of you the link and you guys have already downloaded it and tried it out. But Android one will be out very soon. It's not on the App Store yet either, but it's just in the testing phases. It's in the test flight mode, so we're just testing it out first off, just to make sure that you guys don't face any issues once we go live with it. Okay, so we're gonna go on over here to the application. Once you're logged in, you will see this screen basically with your profile on it. This is your dashboard, and let's actually begin right from over here. Now the first constraint that we're going to be talking about, and really this is not the constraint, this is actually the way to shortlist the universities, is by looking at your situation, your circumstances, and your constraints. This is the most important factor out there. Look, if you absolutely have not been able to take on the GRE or the TOEFL or the GMAT or the IELTS, then you go on to this article section of the website. You see of the application, you see over here you have universities waiving the GRE and TOEFL both for 2022, and this is mostly for fall 2022, by the way. You can go ahead, take a look at these universities, you can take a look at all of these and just shortlist from here. It's as simple as that, because again, then you have narrowed down your options by a lot. Otherwise, if you have, let's say, taken maybe the TOEFL or the IELTS, but you have not been able to take the GRE or the GMAT, then you can basically go on to this one right over here, universities waiving off the GRE and GMAT. We have about 51 universities over here, and we keep on adding new ones as we find them. And you can basically go ahead and you can shortlist from here. Now this would be your first round of the shortlist, where you're basically looking at your constraints. Look, if you have a constraint of maybe you want to pay less tuition than $30,000, then you go on to the universities part of the application over here. You go ahead, select maybe your country, maybe you're interested in the US, right? And again, a location based constraint might be there, a tuition based constraint might be there. For instance, the location based constraint, I would say it is the most important. It is paramount. Don't skip it, at least. Okay, so certainly you can have things like, hey, maybe you're going to a little bit badly ranked university, maybe you're going to rank 25 instead of rank 20, but as long as the location of rank 25 is better, trust me, you're going to be in a much better situation. So for instance, if I'm going to look at universities for, let's say, CS, I'm looking at California. Maybe that's my favorite area, and with that, I'm going to be able to shortlist the universities. Maybe I want Colorado also, right? You can have multiple areas, of course, right? Of course, not to mention that Colorado is the best area, nothing like that, but still, depending on which field you're in, what you want to do, right? You can basically select the areas, you can really select the states even, right? And this is valid for any country of your choice, right? It doesn't just have to be the US, it could be Germany, it could be Canada, it could be anything, right? And on top of that, if you have tuition fee expenses that you would want, hey, I want to pay only less than $20,000, I cannot afford more than that, that's completely okay. Go ahead, select the constraint, and basically find universities which are sort of fitting this constraint over here, right? So it depends on your constraints, of course. It really is more of a holistic view over here. You have to really understand what your circumstances are. They're basically very different from someone else's circumstances, and you have to cater to them in all cases. Okay, now coming to the point number 2, how do you shortlist universities? Another way is you go ahead and you check out the admits and rejects, and this is one of my favorite ways over here. It depends on who you are, what you do, of course, but you can actually go ahead and see, okay, look, based on my first shortlist, based on my circumstances, I've shortlisted 25 universities. For those 25, let's say Northeastern is one of them. I'll just go ahead, select Northeastern right here, and I'll see what kind of profiles get into NEU, right? I'll just select the decision type as admit, and I'll see what kind of people really do get into NEU, what kind of people make it, because I want to understand, okay, this is my profile, so will I be able to get in or not? Hey, you can even have CGPA filters if you want. You can basically have a filter of CGPA 9 to 10 if you want, right? You can basically select anything right here depending on who you are, what you want to do. So if you find a decision that you like, you can basically go ahead and bookmark it, and you can keep bookmarking the ones that you are really interested in. The key is that later on you're going to be able to find these really quickly by just going on to your saved decisions right over here, right? And again, the important part is for you to understand what kind of profiles these people have, so that they have gotten to NEU, and you can actually go ahead and see their profiles directly on their profile page. You can see other decisions they might have had, you can see their resume, etc, etc. If they've posted it, it'll be available over here, right? So all of these things you can go ahead and check them out. And really, this is one of the key ways of shortlisting the universities. I would say that looking back at what kind of people have gotten in, that's sort of a secret power that most people don't really have. You see the results of previous admissions, and you are able to basically kind of portray whether you'll be able to get into the university or not. It's sort of like machine learning, but only that you're doing it by yourself over here. You're just basically looking at the data, and you're understanding if you will be a good fit, right? So please go on and do this research for yourself. The next point is the admissions statistics. So let's say that, okay, let's say now you are still convinced that, okay, NEU may be a good fit for you. That's great. Now go on to the university tab over here, search by university name, and you can basically search for NEU. You can basically then go ahead and long press it to see the quick admission statistics, or click on view more, and basically you will find a lot more details about the university, of course, right? What kind of students get in, what kind of minimum requirements there are, what kind of average GPA you need, right? All of these things. What kind of international students, a massive 86.6% international students go into NEU for engineering. You can see engineering, business, law, right? So I think this would be a very good fit for you if you're an international student, right? And this is really how you figure it out, right? You have to basically keep on doing your research. You can even use the rate my chances tool, etc, etc. So all of these things are available in the application. I hope these 3 ways you understood them very well. For the next 2 ways, we're going to move on to the computer screen, because it's going to be a little bit different. Now the 4th way that we're going to be talking about, again, a very important way, it's based on your rankings. Now let me actually tell you what that means. Let's say that you're going for computer science, and your favorite rankings, of course, has to be US News in that case, right? I know a lot of you guys use this page, so I'm going to be using this page for you. Now when it comes to the rankings, right, and really, if you understand that, okay, based on your previous first 3 evaluations, now you may be able to get into, let's say, Brown University. Okay, you understand that Brown is a good fit for you, right? It's ranked 25 over here. Now the key over here is, if you're selecting Brown, then you shouldn't select Yale, you shouldn't select Duke. You cannot have a short list where you have Yale, Brown, and Duke at the same time. You know why? Because you're going to be applying to, let's say, 7 or 8 universities, maybe 10, 12 at max, right? At the end of the day, if you're applying to universities which are very similarly ranked, you will probably get decisions which are very similar. Either it's going to be all admits or all rejects. That happens a lot of times, and this is a very common mistake. So my key is that, okay, make groups of 5 universities. Okay, if you're basically looking at these 5, these 4, these 5, then only select 1 out of these 5, and then move on down to the next 5, and you should only select 1 out of the next 5, right? So similarly, basically, you don't have to select the universities with the exact similar rankings. It's as simple as that. If they are adjacent in the rankings, you don't want to select the same ones, because then again, you're basically minimizing your chances of having that diversity in the list. Your list is either going to be all ambitious or all safe or all moderate. You're not going to have universities from all 3 classes, and that, my friend, is very important. Now the 5th way is going to be LinkedIn. Let's say that you think that UT Dallas is going to be a great fit for you. So what you do is you go ahead and you search UT Dallas, and you can select basically electrical engineering. Maybe you're going for electrical engineering, right? And you can say something like class of 2020 or 2021, class of 2020, right? You basically search for this, and what you will get is someone who is basically, finishing off with their graduation, who basically finished off with their graduation in 2020, and they basically, of course, finished it off in MS Electrical Engineering. And of course, you're able to see what kind of a profile they have in the past, what kind of college they graduated from, right? What kind of job they're working right now, what they're doing right now. Are they in the US? Are they in India? Basically, all of these things are things that you would like to research for yourself and understand, okay, am I going to be a good fit for this university? If this person graduated in 2018 from NSIT and they went directly into UTD, do I have a similar profile or not? Is my bachelor's college as good as NSIT, or what kind of a GPA they have? All of these things you want to compare. A lot of times you'll find that these LinkedIn profiles might already exist on YMGrad. You may be able to just do a quick name search, and you can actually go ahead and search for people as well. I'm not going to be able to open up the application again right here, but I'm going to tell you, if you want to search for people, you can basically go ahead, search for anyone over here. you can basically type in the name and you can see if this profile exists, right? So it really is as simple as that. Just go ahead, type any name, and of course you'll be able to find it right over here mostly. And hopefully this video gives you the impetus to go ahead, do the research on your own. Again, it's a very complex matter. I know shortlisting is probably the toughest thing that we do at YMGrad. It's not an easy task. However, if you really stick to it and you do it well, and you basically, do it on a, I'm not going to say daily basis, but you really put in the time that you need to, right? You'll come out with some tremendous results. Of course, if you still need our help, you can go ahead to the services section and check out the profile evaluation and university shortlisting service. This, by the way, is what the output looks like, and this is also what your output should look like, even if you're doing it on your own, right? And hopefully this should help you as well in case nothing else works. Okay, apart from that, I hope this video helps. If you have any doubts, any questions, any suggestions, let me know in the comments down below. Subscribe to the channel because it helps me make more videos like this for you guys, and I really appreciate it for the 100K. I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye and take care.